Our topic is about an issue under the teaching social studies methods to preserve its elementary teacher, which is one of its challenges, the conflicting conservative sociological beliefs. This issue is somewhat related to sociopolitical beliefs concerning how one perceives the nature of society. It's about how to assist in the development of individuals with the dedication and skills required to assist in closing the gap between our nation's democratic ideals and societal reality. So, those who think that good times last forever easily succumb to pressure during difficulties, and they do not put in much effort or um, required hard work because they break down easily. We can take the example of a student who burns the midnight candle, makes sacrifices, and resists temptations so that he or she can perform well. Similarly, a successful executive has to face the peaks and valleys of life, not forgetting the life is a mix of success, failure, joy, and as well as sorrow. So we have different interpretations of problems. So, in my own point of view, an example of this issue is something that is sociopolitical is the issue of environmental conservation, which is influenced by going green and by political policies. So, in my opinion, this problem is for the young people to enable them to identify, comprehend, and contribute to the resolution of problems confronting our diverse society in an increasingly interdependent world. So, this problem also serves as a reminder of the importance of discussing various sociological issues in social studies methods classes, particularly those pertaining to race, class, and gender. So, therefore, those who accept these challenges and succeed are the ones who know how to live life in its true sense, thus enjoy life, but also be prepared to bear the pricks of pain. Um, this is to educate the students so that deep conflicts and misunderstandings can be avoided.
Here are some of the related issues. Poverty is definitely a socio-political issue. Poverty is social in many ways, but one shows a society assigns moral worth to people who experience poverty. For example, that people in poverty or lazy or poverty places lazy or don't know how to manage their money. Poverty is also political because decision makers use their power to influence various industries, which in turn affects job creation or layoffs. Welfare programs, which can help alleviate poverty or worsen it. And zoning laws, which create structural areas where poverty is perpetuated. Number two, crime is deemed by many, if not most, people to be one of the most disquieting social problems. Furthermore, the general public tends to have a narrow conception of crime, one that is limited to acts or of predatory street crimes such as physical adults assaults and robberies that occur in public places. Economic inequality measures the position of individuals or groups relative to others in society. In general, it will be the case that the people at the bottom of the income distribution will be both relatively and absolutely poor, but one could imagine a society in which absolute poverty had been eliminated even though relative poverty or an inequality was still prevalent. The inequality that is of interest in this paper has to do with the way in which desirable things such as income, wealth, prestige, well-being, and so on are distributed across a given population. Economic inequality includes the distribution of both income and wealth. And while these economic variables are of no intrinsic value, they do tend to be positively related to such inherently valuable attributes as good health, longevity, education, and general satisfaction and happiness. Illiteracy is a problem that affects both the illiterate individual as well as society as a whole. An illiterate person has a greater chance of being unemployed or having a lower quality job, which in turn results in a lower income, and that places them in a risky financial position. People who are illiterate have a limited ability to obtain and understand important information such as emergency warnings, medication dosages, or workplace instructions. For society, illiteracy increases the country's unemployment rate and lowers the community involvement and participation in political issues. Poor leadership. Poor leadership has consequences of reducing performance of the leaders because leaders can't maintain high-performing people, which have negative impact on the productivity of the organization. It has an effect on the lifestyle of people by causing lack of direction and losses of purpose, which basically affects the social and political life of an individual. The lack of skills resulting in a problem with the performance of leaders in general.
So, my group mates are Kyle Teres Ligaray and Jeremy Lozano. So here in our conclusion, to recognize the social and in recognizing the social and political problems is the first step in finding a solution. So, the one reason or the one majority problem here in our country is the lack of awareness. So, which might be addressed by the government and other stakeholder programs. These have been effectively addressed in the past. So, the future holds hope for addressing the present issues. So, to sum up everything, here in our conclusion, so, as a future educator, as a pre-service teacher, uh, uh, those possible solutions that has been put up together by the group will serve as a guide for the both pre-service and in-service teachers, not only elementary teachers but also for the secondary level and for the tertiary level. So, on how to improve and innovate teaching social studies. So, issues with an active response and solution will lead to a flourishing teaching and learning process. So, the teaching social studies will be more interesting for both teachers and also to the learners. And also, all of us were hoping that those teachers who encountered or who are experiencing uh, difficulty or who suffers from these challenges and problems or issues, that hope that they can find a solution and overcome all of this as soon as possible, and they will be able to show and able to prove to the students and to or to the learners that what is the what is the the essence of teaching social studies and learning social studies. So uh, for the learners also, for them to understand the purpose of social studies. So what is really the purpose of social studies? So the one thing that we should remember, that the one objective of the social studies is to help the young people make informed and reasoned decision for the public good as citizen of a culturally diverse, democratic society in an interdependent world. And I think that would be all, and thank you.